Do it. Okay, so here we are. Mini session 20, teeny tiny. Okay, so it has been months of training and coalescing your uh, forces, really, and yourselves, given that Garth having taken a step back to vice president character. We finally rolled up her stats because she's real. She's real NPC now. Um, Ephraim and Pretty building up their platoons in the newly formed Constantinium forces.
Pretty's off
Zumir,
somewhere with like a folding table covered in explosives, showing a bunch of teenagers how to take them all apart.
we got Zumir actually finalizing the process of the Astartes training, like really starting to get the full treatment. And Roldvik has got, well, there's been just a fuck ton of logistics running around as basically you have been part of the, because there's this whole there's this whole imperial army that's being built here, this whole regiment that's being made from scratch on this planet. So
And
you've
somehow
been,
it feels like I'm the only one doing paperwork and flying.
yeah, so there's just, you're having to be a part of your nephew's efforts as the ship is commandeered for military purposes. Upside, you're it does, I mean, the books are bouncing out where there is money flowing back to your
Yeah,
planet,
there are
specifically
gains.
because you guys have been able to revisit at least one of the ports of your system in order to get drop off gains and resupply with more equipment for the for these forces.
Hmm.
Uh,
Cool, cool.
I just need to, for narrative flavor here, Ephraim and Pretty, you guys, um, what's the level? You said Grenadiers, and what was Ephraim's?
Which section was Grenadier?
I guess we're looking
So,
at regimental type and
Close assault.
special doctrines. Close,
Uh,
close assaults.
Infiltrator.
yeah. Um,
Close assault, infiltrators, covert strike.
Okay.
yeah. So technically we're grenadiers, but I'm ordering it on the sheet. They're primarily vanguards. They're just very heavily armed vanguards.
Okay. What is Vanguard's position normally? That's the breachers, right? Or the
Uh, it,
besiegers?
effectively, yeah. So Vanguard, it's a special equipment doctrine. I'll give you the description. Considered elite among siege regiments. The Vanguard combine the deadly combat prowess of elite infantry with the cunning and technical acumen of siege engineers. Where the average siege engineer's mission is more defensive, digging trenches, breaching, etc., a Vanguard's unit mission is more focused on offense and mayhem. These guardsmen travel deep behind enemy lines, either on foot or mounted in well-equipped chimeras to destroy infrastructure, sabotage logistical and communication lines, and cause as many problems for the enemy as they can. Many of their missions are highly classified and often carried out in cooperation with stormtrooper units, except I'm kind of just making these guys the stormtroopers.
Okay, doubling down. So we're looking at a, an influx of technical, like heavy equipment, heavy technical equipment, I guess, is what I'm checking about your guys'
Um,
characters or platoons, regiment, whatever.
Oh,
So for them, it's somewhat. It's mostly just a bunch of kitted out chimeras that they've probably been working on giving the modifications that they need.
If
Um,
it's chimeras, that, yeah, okay, so chimeras, yeah,
yeah,
that's kind of like the heavy machinery stuff that I'm like, because it's an
yeah,
Imperial Navy, you need assistance from outside factions outside of kind of
Yeah.
what this planet has as a resource. So I'll give you a little bit more info because you're going to be learning some interesting stuff about about this planet through your platoon and the unique
mhm.
aspect of it. And then Ephraim's, yours is close assault infiltrators, you said?
yep.
Okay. Is there any heavy equipment or specialized equipment that would come into play there?
I think their specialized equipment is just stealth stuff.
Okay. Also good to know. Um, uh, I think
It's
it's your group is adults, right?
yes. Now covert strike, so they have the sin skins and prey sense goggles,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we've got some heavy duty
and then
technical
get
stuff here.
they get the bonus to logistics for getting things like camellia line cloaks and
Ah, yeah. Moving
rebreathers
forward.
and yeah, like a lot of the upgrade. It'll be easier for them to upgrade to that stuff. Otherwise, it's mostly the close assault as they're starting.
Okay. Gotcha.
They've got like shotguns and
I
great weapons,
something that's gonna become
grenades.
clear to you guys is this uh I guess pretty specifically, Ephraim, this is uh, everything basically that I'm about to say pretty much goes with kind of everything you've known about the Moonmen's tactics in conjunction with the realities of your planet sort of concept. So it's
Yeah.
um, when I was joking about the orphans thing, but in reality, these children are these youths are children, and they are now orphans. And the Imperial Regiment that you guys are a part of, is is like an enforced,
It's
or
conscription by gunpoint.
yeah, there are not. It's become very clear over the course of these months that this planet is not highly populated. So you are pulling uh, double amounts of, essentially, you are pulling both adults and children of of capable ages from the same centers of. So
Ugh.
the difference between these two platoons is that there are the adults that are expected to do the fighting, and then there are the children that are expected to do all of the underhanded. So it's like these guys are just pulling from the same thing. Any cities, villages, encampments, kind of forts that you're pulling from, you're just taking all of them. And
Mm.
this is an
That's actually
enforced
perfect.
separation.
That's perfect because I took Scarred by Loss, so the PTSD is canonical
Beautiful.
and mechanical.
Terrifying. This is just god awful. um, So I just wanted to make that clear. That's you guys are what would normally be a tithe is basically double tithes from any section. It's just full roundups at this point. The reason why
Damn.
they're so good at their jobs is because it was the jobs that they were doing prior to being kidnapped and shanghaied into the military forces, anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Oh.
Uh, Garth, you're having to see a side of Perth that you've not seen before, as she's been kind of this watchful person over you. As this has shifted to her being the commissar of this regiment, she has had to really uh, dive into that. What was it? The philosophy you gave me of hers uh, has
As
really,
a tool is often never
Right, became
broken,
a
it can just be
commissar?
sharpened.
yes. The Emperor's tools are often dulled but not broken. They can be sharpened willingly or forcibly, and you're really seeing the forcibly side of her assignments. Um,
When did Perth become a commissar?
uh,
Yeah,
she
that
had to become acting commissar for the Imperial forces because the Sisters of Battle, she's the only one. They had to pull from the existing forces to get officers of any sort, and all they had to do was from the Imperial Navy. So Overseer Perth did have training with the Sisters of Battle, which is a cross that is an equivalency. They start in the same. Can't
Scholar
remember.
Progenium.
Yeah, Scholar Progenium.
I
So
didn't realize she was a sister of battle. I mean, she's been
Yeah,
fucking. She's
it
been
was
dying
mentioned
really
earlier.
hard lately.
I mean,
She's been
she
suffering hard.
she was trained in it. she, I wouldn't
She
say that
liked
she
it a
was a
little
sister
too
battle. She
much.
just had been trained in
Yeah.
this.
The power armor there, man.
Um,
Armor there.
which it also becomes clear as to why she was kicked out of the Sister of Battle, which is that is I'm glad the confusion came in because the clarification of why she's not a Sister of Battle does come into play because while she is just an iron fist when it comes to getting the training done and getting basically making sure that this regiment is at fighting, like is up to code, up to standards. She pushes back against any like it's a constant what is it, she is like this is where Garth gets to see something that the rest of you don't, where it's Garth's there as like as her secondary as her second now in psyker capacity, um and you have sorry, and you also have been able to gain access, like we've talked about, to the planet a lot more because she's out
Mm.
up front doing the quote unquote recruitment runs with everybody. Like she's running this from start to finish. Uh, and whereas, oh God, what's his name? The officers. Whereas Osmond is this quiet, ever stoic presence. Um, he genuinely has. God, you do. Did Garth have any interaction with? He was there for some of Osmond's stuff, or was he off
I
on his own?
overheard some of the stuff.
Okay. Um,
Maybe.
the you get the sense that the fight that Osmond, because Osmond did have a bit of fire in him when he had to come down to the flight deck of like the officers' quarters sort of deal, and that's kind of gone. That fire is gone. He's now this stoic, knows how to run things, but is not. He's basically just going by what is ordered and holding firm to the status quo, essentially. Whereas Perth is the fiery, she is the one that's pushing back and genuinely getting into arguments with anyone from the upper, like anyone from the upper stratosphere on if they're making demands that are just absolutely unreasonable. She's the one telling them no and like getting that position where it's like, and she's not afraid to go on the line where it's like, you've been given this position of acting commissar. It's like, yeah, and this is like, and she has no problems with risking that rank to make sure that things are done the right way, as
God, I
harsh as
love
she
Hell
her.
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to support her the most I can
Hey.
on that front. Is fuck the big wigs.
Yeah.
They're not helping at all here.
You walked away from all this, yeah. Ooh, Garth, you know, here comes an interesting thing. I'm gonna have you roll a minus 30 scrutinize as did I have oh god, yeah. I was like I'm gonna have you roll a scrutinize check as well. This is at uh, yeah, this will be at a minus oh god, this is gonna be at a minus 20. I'll give you.
Cool.
Hey,
Holy
good
shit.
job.
Okay.
Fucking proud of you.
Okay. So while uh there is a familiarity of this, like this planet has a familiarity to it at this point, and it's hard to wrap your mind around. Like you had a close person here on this planet, right? That like you went to her and you turned her in order to essentially save. I don't even know if you knew that you were saving Osmond's life in that instance, but you did
Oh, he
clear
did not
Osmond.
know. He did not know.
You incidentally cleared Osmond, uh, his name, in turning in this person who was important to you. But when you try to think back and like, okay, she's important to me, and you kind of know the relationship that you remember, but you also remember her talking about you left me alone, and you're like, okay, uh, and you're like, so you know that she was tied to this planet somehow. Like she didn't want to leave this planet. Uh, and the the thing that that almost throws you off is that Ephraim's battalion does all seem to look like you. I mean, at this point, Ephraim is pulling from a section of
No.
this planet uh, that does very much fit uh, your people, but you know these are not your people, and I mean, it becomes clear over. I mean, it's pretty easy over time where it's like if you try and drop any like knowing phrases or slang from, and when I say from, that's the blank space that sits there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The the curse that you've taken with you is essentially this is all the coloration of the curse that you've taken with you from your dive into this planet's lore.
Everything's a bit more murky.
Yeah. So you know that you're not from this planet. Essentially, that's a whole encapsulated thing of like you know you're not from this planet. You don't belong here, but it is familiar, and there's this kind of sense of longing left within you. Uh, all right, Perth's doing her thing. Bree's got a folding table full of explosives. These kids catch on quick, which is, impressive, but also mildly disturbing, given what you know. uh, and then Zumir, I'm going to get to your scrutinize check. You have gone through the full indoctrination process, and as the willing and reverent man that you are, you have fully uh, you have fully submitted to the indoctrination of your Astartes chapter.
It didn't take them much, honestly.
No, it didn't take much. The Imperial Creed is like essentially the Imperial Creed is not what you are attached to now as a religious. Uh, it's still you still stand within a sphere of that, but you are now specifically a part of the Exorcists cult.
Mm.
A secondary side effect of that is that like another aspect of this is that as an Astartes going through the full indoctrination, and it is I'll bring you to I'm gonna bring you to the vessel that I've got because I was able to at least load up the page. There's no lighting to it now, so
Hey,
you're gonna see that it's full glory as is.
ooh, lovely.
So
Love it.
this
Love
will
it.
be the ship that you'll be stationed on. Uh, you are that
Good to know.
small
So
because everything is to scale for an Astartes.
that
Um,
tracks.
and it's in this place where your Astartes chapters Giselwyn barks under.
It's a shame that my religion died out, though.
It's not that it's gone, it's the situation of like your religion seems to overlap with theirs quite handsomely. So much so that uh, whatever specifications you carry, like with whatever unique specifications you had to the imperial cults that you were adding or partaking in, has now been transferred over to their version of it, and it does run in line because uh, they do engrave their armors, and you learn as part of the process is they also engrave themselves. So these uh, so you're getting the essentially the next level of what you inherently knew in your being. And that's why it plays that's why it seems so natural to be here.
I'm home.
So Giselwyn barks, and what was the name of your fellow Marukan?
Maruken.
Maruket. So, and he is going to be your He's not a librarian, he's not an apothecary, and he's not, I don't think he's even a priest, to be honest with you. I think he holds straight up just Vanguard ranking. He's literally just like a lieutenant or a captain running the
Eh,
Vanguard. That's the sort of
I didn't really expect anything special.
yeah. So he is straightforward in his nature, and he pulls he pulls from this it's like the generations before us are what we compound upon, and so he guides you. Part of the process is that you are guided back into your meditative stance with your second as the little human that is your second. He acts as kind of your grounding force, because essentially you're left with we have to go into the darkest parts of this universe, and we have to come back out whole because and you have to ground yourself with humanity. We have you essentially are assigned a human to ground you in conjunction with the training that you receive.
Okay.
Um,
I
and
have to keep
so,
my humanity.
yeah, so you have to keep because you have to go to places that humanity could not withstand, and you have to face those things, and then you have to return it's like because ours is to protect and elevate humankind. Uh, and through the guided meditation, he does meet you. Like essentially, he has you reveal to him his your dojo, and he walks
Because
you through
that's actually turned into
the what?
when I became a space marine and transformed from a dojo to an arena.
Nice. Oh, right, yeah. It was like he gets you to find the balance of it needs to be more like uh to condense the arena to a space of so he's going through it and following through like where you've been and what you've what you've elevated to. He brings you to the point where it's like we need to build this brick by brick individually. This has to be the point that you return to before you return to humanity. This is the point you have to go to before you face what must be faced, and this is the point that you must return to, like that you must cleanse yourself in before returning to humanity.
This must be the fortress of my soul.
Exactly. And so he guides you through the process of building a fortress, uh, essentially laying the groundwork for what will become uh, this rampart against chaotic influence and the incursion of demon forces from your soul and beyond.
Okay. I want everybody to imagine like my arena at the point was like dingy, like in the pit, kind of an arena, darkness, blood, all that. With this training and the focusing, it turns into like the Grand Colosseum of Rome with its pristine white walls.
Nice.
Ooh.
Now, a side effect of this is that you are having to purge yourself of everything that made you human. And part of that process means, and this is where that scrutinized test came into play, you have forgotten everyone close to you and beyond.
Fuck!
You will not recognize anyone by face or name.
Fuck!
It is a clean start.
Rip, bro. Backstory
I'm
gone.
sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
And I'm just saying, I mean, this extends beyond PCs. This extends to your family. This extends to everything. There's
You kid, bro.
Oh,
You
shit.
kid.
I don't know if I have a kid. I don't know if I have a sister anymore.
I love this. This puts into perspective the Night Lord's moment of Talos, that was your mother.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
Oh god.
You are being forged into a weapon that is that requires you to expel all of that. So those are just important moments. And part of your time here does leave you with access to information that will prove it that will affect that will be in effect rippling through everyone else's ranks as well here. Uh, the exorcists commanders are making it clear as so we will so your leader and staff and essentially the full Astarte staff do are speaking from time to time, and you do see that there is a movement. There is a lot of mobilization happening as they're like as they are referencing a long past. What is it? It's not a it's not a grudge, but like a payment, a adjudication, I guess. That's been long overdue. And they see an opportunity that has come into play, and at towards the end of your it's like it's not oh god, it's not even towards the end of your time here. This is early on. You're still kind of like following some things, and some of it is talking about the Imperial Navy. Um, some of it is dealing with the uh, a lot of it centers around the Space Hulk and the brothers upon it. So, uh, in this case, I would need you to roll me an eavesdrop check, and I'll give it to you at a +10. Not so many people would
Right.
be. You're both like, oh wait, you're. Uh, I'll give you a +20 to this because of your. I mean, your background as an aristocrat still comes into play the way you'd hold yourself even amongst officers.
I hold my head high and I stand straight, damn it.
Yeah. I mean, you can continue to focus on what you're focusing on while overhearing. It's this whole variety of things. So go ahead and roll me that eavesdrop at a +20.
There's eavesdrop again.
I do
It's
not
in
know.
perception.
What?
Yeah, perception right below awareness.
Eh. There it is. I actually have an advance in this for some reason.
Oh shit.
I did not realize that. I'll be damned.
Okay.
I did not expect that.
It's that you're able to learn that our brothers are long overdue to return to our to the adjudication of our God, what they say. I guess to the adjudication of our shared imperial fist heritage. The chaos amongst the evacuation of the Space Hulk and of its civilians and the chaos amongst the Imperial Navy leaves us with an opportune moment to follow through on the mission we were sent here to do. You will stay
Interesting.
staying behind as a honestly, yeah, it's left as this Vanguard unit will stay here amongst these ranks uh, to retain a presence and a watchful eye over the actions of this development should they stray from the path or call upon forces beyond their understanding.
Very well.
And that's that's what you learn on your end. What everyone sees on their end is early on, during the early portions of like probably the first 2 to 3 weeks of chaos that kind of comes afterwards, this arbitration, like the what is it, the rulings came down. There was clearly some, I mean, because you guys remember when you first returned to this landing, this launch point, that there was a lack of overall leadership down here. If you guys remember it, but
Right.
that I remember. Uh, this So whatever shakeup happened, I mean, this entire, I mean, you guys have been aware of. There's been some sort of shakeup, and
Yeah.
the Roldvik will return, will be returning to this space, uh, noticing an absence of something very obvious, whereas Garth, Pretty, and Ephraim will literally witness it in the night, uh, as this massive space hulk that's been in orbit. It's been like this whole asteroid, additional asteroid, is taken out, like essentially the warped out of this space, leaving this massive boom, and it honestly leaves the effect of there's a moment of the air kind of disappears from your breath and the ones around you. It's that moment of, I mean, you guys went into a war zone in space to gain this and save uh, this, this space hulk. Um, on the flip side, I think Ephraim, you would be the person who would be most, I mean, quite possibly the most offended by this. And I got to know what your chaos alignment is for this.
Oh, it's fatalism.
Fatalism. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that
Game
won't come
over,
into
man.
play here. It won't come into play unless, but by all means, roleplay it if you'd like. But that Space Hulk was containing an entire planet's worth of population. And over the course of these 3 weeks, there was nothing but ships, like just loads, day in, day out, at all hours of the day, civilians being brought down. So there was an entire evacuation that happened over the course of 3 weeks from that space hulk that was the primary force of the Imperial Navy here. So now this planet is become increasingly populated with foreign, with essentially a whole foreign nation has landed, and they're not military. These are people, these are settlers.
Okay.
Um, so that'd be the major thing that happened prior to the evacuation of this Space Hulk, along with essentially the entirety of the Exorcist chapter, the exception of a Vanguard ship.
Nice.
Uh,
So we're still here.
we're now only
I
slightly off the sacred timeline, if you will.
I will say that it goes in cadence with Zumir. You got some explaining to do. Oh
Who are
god.
you,
Yeah.
whelp?
Oh god. And there lies the final bit.
Hmm.
God, I'm trying to, God, all these different fucking things coming into play. The
Really, who are
final
you?
chunk of exposition I gotta deliver to you guys is, uh, you know what? I'll let you guys at least come to, so this has been months. You guys have been at this, working on this stuff. Roldvik would have returned with the new new shipment of supplies.
Yep.
God, what is it? The important part is that you guys truly have basically the battalions, Ephraim and Pretty. You guys have had a surprising amount of contact from the very what are they?
Is it my friends?
The very quiet
Oh,
bunch of the
fucking
Sons of Medusa,
no! Oh no!
as they've been coordinating with the limited Mechanicus presence here, in order to get you guys outfitted. So things are requiring. It's not just sitting on a folding table. I mean, like the folding table is not just there to like teach them how to do the bombs. You're having to retrofit things so that normal humans
Oh,
can
yeah.
carry them.
Honestly, the only reason I'm like at all comfortable with the amount of equipment my dudes are pulling is just how good Pretty is at finding stuff and just how good he is at fixing stuff. Otherwise, I'd be like, they have way too much stuff. This is ridiculous. But Pretty would be like, what's that? You have, what's that? What's in that crate there? You don't know? Well, here, I'll take it off your hands. Ooh, grenades.
Oh my god, I forgot. Okay, right. Oh, I almost forgot
Like,
about an important bit. I gotta have Pretty and Ephraim during Pretty, Ephraim, Garth, and Perth all kind of come together as an
Yeah.
important sub moment in this situation. Can't remember. God damn it! Can't remember the specifics of this. God, I mulled all
which
this
I,
over, but I didn't get to write it down, so I'm doing my very best here.
you're honestly doing.
Let's see here. You three are brought into the Commander Osmond's quarters, and this would be
Oh yeah.
probably during the halfway point. Now it's the Ephraim and Pretty are the ones called in. Garth, you and Perth are just there already, as Perth seems to have been. Ooh, um, you know what, Garth? Go ahead and roll me an eavesdrop. This is at a. God, this is at a -20.
Let's go.
Just Garth on that one.
This is just Garth on this one, because he's near enough. He's near to Perth, but Perth is actively trying to keep some space between her and Garth.
Yeah.
So
In
what skill
official
is that?
capacities. An eavesdrop, if you will, please and thank you. It's a -20 for this.
Sure thing, bossman. Reroll, gang. Reroll.
Uh,
It's up to you.
I don't.
I want to say no.
Yeah, I mean, like, I want to say yes, but I don't know. Let the GM have some of his secrets. We keep
We
exposing them.
didn't let Zamir reroll.
I
Yeah,
did
that's
earlier
true.
because that was a specific chunk of time that is very important as far as the Astartes thing. It was
Oh.
just not one of those things you could re-roll up.
Well, I will say this then. My character is not there or involved as far as I know, so this is on y'all.
I was like, because I'm just saying, Garth could easily be distracted by a bit of living some sort of animal that catches his fancy.
E.
Yes.
I would be
You saw a rat.
There's a lot
You
of
saw a
noise
rat,
saying
but it's
no.
the first non-human living thing you've seen in weeks.
And you've been studying.
I've been going after the rats. I'm going after the rats.
if that's what it is, I don't know. I can't remember which the animal. Oh my god, the animals you were specific to were.
I need, if I'm looking for a spell, I need to find a man eater. So if there's a tiger around.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, right. Because you got the silverback wog that was a disturbing element to this planet as well. It's not so much that
Probably
the bird.
distracted by crows.
It was a new and unique style of bird. Um, unfortunately, when it flew off, some of what you thought was a feather coloration dropped out, and it was literally just stealing something shiny from, encampment. It wasn't able to carry the whole thing,
yeah,
so it was one of the common birds that you've seen here before.
them birds.
You still have a sketch of what you thought you saw, though. At the very least.
Hell yeah, bird sketch.
So without that advanced wording, this is you being called in. There's a meeting. Garth, I'd like you to be present. You have a connection with, and this is Perth, sorry. You have a connection with Ephraim and Pretty. Lieutenant, what's Ephraim's last name? Does he have a last name?
Brennis?
Brennis, sorry. Lieutenant Brennis and, uh, God, she's been talking, she has been calling you guys by your official military names. Ephraim,
Fabernath,
Yeah.
please.
Lieutenant Brennis and Lieutenant Pavernath.
Yes, I have a connection to them. I will seek them out if you wish.
No, they're already being called in. The Commander Osmond is going to be having a private meeting, and we'd both like your input on their demeanor or anything that you can read into their intentions. It's important. The "it's important" is the softest she's been in all three in months.
I'll see what I can do with them.
Okay. So, Ephraim, Pretty, you guys are called into again. I don't need to I'll pull them up one more time. Commander
Alright.
Osmond's personal quarters.
Yeah, all right, I'll be back, kids. Just make sure to keep filing them fragmentations. If there's more than a mil, it might not break off in as many sharp chunks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The voice crack is correct. Yeah.
No, too accurate.
Yeah, Ephraim, do you have any parting words for your platoon? Or do you guys even have words at this point?
I think just kind of be a nod and off he goes.
That's
They have their orders, you know. They will
It's just-
follow those.
it's nothing but those technical signals at all times. Okay. So Commander Osmond is such what is it? He by the time once you guys get there, he is already like his desk is clear, but like it's cleared and organized in such a way that he was prepped for this meeting. You don't know how long. He could have just been sitting here all day for all you guys know. Garth, you're aware of the fact that he was just finishing up some paperwork prior to that.
It's a show. He's not that organized. He's not that good.
uh, oh God, I'm trying to remember specifics. Hold on, give me a second if I can find. It'd be a miracle if I actually wrote something down in the notes. I'm gonna double check if the notes. Come on. Game log.
I'll probably meet them at the door.
Oh, nice. All right, by all means.
Who's the first one that shows up? Who's punctual, so to say?
I mean, Ephraim's definitely punctual. I don't know if you remember that time he had the stopwatch running for 5 minutes in case someone was late and he was going to fly a plane on his own.
Oh my fucking god! This
How could
that
I
is the
forget
culmination of all this shit.
Amazing.
How goes it, Ephraim?
Oh, it's yeah, you know, good to be among my people. How's the daughter hunt
Well, I don't know if Pretty's told you the results, but there are results. A bit, well, grisly enough. How's it managing men now?
Good. They know their jobs.
You run me through their jobs? What's your purpose? Or their purpose for you?
The front line. Jobs to break in, kill things, die for the good of the commanders.
For the good of the Emperor! Hello, chaps!
Eh.
That's the best.
Likewise, Pretty, how has your teenage army been? I don't know how young or old they are.
How tall is Zumir now? Because he's gotten bigger, right?
I don't think
Zumir's
Zumir's
not-
there.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
My bad. I'm sorry.
All good.
I'm just having.
It's
That was just a bit of a Stanford. It is just Ephraim. Just looks up at Ephraim. You've gotten
Also big.
taller. But no, it's going all right. And they said
still
they'd be sending me. Yeah. No, it's been going all right. I said they'd be sending me a bunch of uppity nitwit kids, and well, they've got some wit and they are uppity. But problem is, they're all fucking taller than me. You'd think there's not one of them older than 16 cycles, and yet here I am, two heads below them. You know, the shortest one they put in my platoon is fucking what, 5'11" and a half. Could you believe that? And he wore
What?
tall boots to make their 6 foot quota. What kind of a joke is that?
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Genuinely, I rolled tall. They're all over 6 foot.
Yeah. So all of you are privy to this information, and this is just kind of like the overarching horror. Does any of you have the there's a talent that allows you to ignore certain like
Indifference?
quote unquote, yeah. Do you guys have the indifference talent?
No.
I don't think so. I'll double
Don't have
check.
the indifference talent. It's a +10 resolve test.
Okay, I was
As
going to say,
Pretty's just
I did.
bring to the front the horror of the I mean, now it's one of those things where you've all been around these encampments enough to know that there is an amount of like crying in the night. Like there are names being said. There's so like I just need to know if you can handle it. Oh God.
They've killed me in the shit,
Alright,
man.
it's pretty in character being able to joke about it.
I'm sorry. I'm checking to see if I have that. I don't think I do. I do not. I just have Dunderhead. Okay.
Oh, right.
That
Dunderhead
tracks.
just allows it. You might not suffer anything from this just from Dunderheadness. You can joke about anything, given that sometimes your own jokes will fly over your own head.
It's so with Thunder exactly. With Dunderhead, that's specifically mental peril, so I will go ahead and roll the resolve.
Yeah.
But I'm not immensely worried about it.
Okay. All right. So it's only Ephraim. This is considered mental perils. So
It's just like, wait.
It is his people that are being talked about here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Garth rolled pretty well. It's like, if you're having issues with them, he just like points his head into the tent.
I am gonna have to, because it does play into the fatalism. I gotta double the amount that I would normally do. So like it's not ×2. I'm just doubling the dice roll.
Okay.
There we go. Okay,
Oh
so
God!
8
Oh,
mental
yeah.
peril.
Okay, that puts me to imperiled.
Okay,
Sorry.
Oh, it's just like, if you're having trouble organizing your men, I know a girl that'll straighten them out. Well, it's her job now.
Oh,
Anything-
no, right. Too bad. Frankly, I might send a couple over to your platoon if they're too much of a bother for me. Snaky little bastards they are.
What's your end goal with them?
Oh. Well, make them as bloody effective as possible as long as I can keep them alive. And give them as many toys to play with in the meantime. Do you know, I think I've managed to wrangle them into chimeras. You know how many favours I had to turn in to get chimeras? Of course, we're going to kit them all out ourselves. Had a spare load of autocannons from one of the salt towers they tore down. Probably some nice combat plows. Oof. He just kind of gets
You
lost
used
in
to
thought for a
sell-
second.
He's going to say to himself, you used to sell peanuts. Now look where you are.
And he just gets so fucking sad. Like, normally he doesn't look his age necessarily because he's got like somewhat of a taut face from the starvation, you know? But like all of the skin on his face just droops and he just looks so old.
Oh, I gotta add in, while the droopiness comes, like, yeah, just that curled up mustache kind of like droops down, the full effect of pretty.
It goes from like the full curl to just straight
Oh.
down.
Oh,
Wait.
so
Does his mustache act like Pinkie Pie's mane?
Flattens out, bro.
Seriously,
I
we're doing
I got-
this, Pinkie Pie? Really?
don't know. I don't even. Oh god.
It's a good
gotta
reference.
So it's Ephraim's thing, or like his resolve, his mental peril is like, now if you want to add Guile, if you want to try Guile to try and hide the fact and maybe not look as sad as Pretty is right now from the mental peril you suffered, you can go ahead and do that. But I do need some info in that. Like, the instance that really comes to mind is the fact that there's a part of the fence that wasn't fully completed, essentially. Like, so there was still a fence line between the two parts of the regiment, where it was like the children and the adults that could
Mhm.
see each other but couldn't get to each other. And you ended
No,
up
this
having to pull a parent away from the chain link before it had been properly sealed up. And the child end. What did you say? Like, what could you have possibly said to console them with your fatalism? Like, you had to say something out of your fatalistic chaos thing into their ear as you pulled them away to get them back into their ranks. I mean, this was close to the end of the night. Like, the sun was almost fully set, so the lights kind of faded, and they could have gotten away with like maybe getting to talk to each other, but they were so loud and so sad at the loss that they that you had to pull them away. What did you say to that parent in that moment?
Oh God.
This is only one peril.
fucked
Chat, right?
up.
This is
Yeah.
something
sure this
bad's
is like-
happening, you guys. I need you. Sometimes you
Yeah.
have to suffer the consequences,
Oh no, we
Yeah.
get it.
even if it's not mechanically that damaging.
Well, in the case of my guys, all of them literally start with, so only War Rules, it's based off of insanity, but there isn't insanity.
Right.
But they start with 1d10. It's either insanity or I guess chaos ranks. No.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
Those kids are
right
fucked up.
off the bat. And then if they fail something, if they crit fail a resolve check, they just go into a PTSD flashback
Oh,
and
nice.
like shut down completely.
Okay. I'm sure there's a madness that we could fit for them in this regard. This is
Probably, yeah.
workable. Perfect. Thank you. This is the sort of stuff I'm like, this is gonna be helpful for these mechanically
Oh.
and narratively for these forces.
That's my goal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. All right. So Ephraim, what did you say to that person? You're able to hide the fact that you are as fucking demoralized as Pretty is about having sunk from peanut farmer to payment salesman to fucking child fucking sergeant to like like lieutenant of the child battalion.
Oh god, yeah, because this. I don't think this would be someone from my regiment, would it?
This is your regiment. This is one of
Oh,
the
okay.
people you had to pull one of those big dudes that literally fit in with Garth and Roldvik, Zumir. Like
Yeah.
these, you're literally the only person probably who could have pulled them away.
Oh shit, that's why their kids are so tall.
Yeah, tall kids.
Yeah, my people are 6 foot and 289 pounds.
Yeah, the parents are fully ebony, whereas the children are a slightly brighter dark brown. Like they haven't quite seen all the sun.
Well, I rolled very pale for all of
Yeah.
my kids.
Oh god, that's so
Yeah. It's the kids look more like me.
There's a genetic mutation within this planet where you gain like 100 pounds and your skin tone just goes dark as shit when you turn like 25.
Oh god, so funny. Yeah, no, they this whole what was it? This planet again, a very diverse, small population, very diverse population, unlike other planets.
That's
Almost like it used to have populations from multiple planets on it. Like it used to be some sort of capital planet. Just a thought. Just a
Oh,
thought.
what's he saying?
Sorry. So what did you whisper? We gotta know,
So-
man. We gotta know.
Yeah, sorry. It's
I know. It's on the spot.
very sudden.
I know. Sometimes you gotta role play.
Yeah, I just don't know what he would say to someone in this situation. Because the usual thing is just you know who he worked for before.
I know, yeah, I know. That's why it's
question then. Would he just not really say anything and just try and like just guide them away? And just hold them down until they calm down and just not say a word?
Yeah,
it's possible.
Yeah, I think it would just be the return to your post, and if there's any, retaliation, it's just the punch to the face. Return to your post.
God, yeah. You're left with that just a bloody nose as you have to share like this person's eye line as they see like you get to see that's why it's only one peril threshold. That's why it only breaks through once because it's just a shared moment of like this bloodied broken nose as they resisted, and there's that shared moment of like a pain that is known amongst the people of this planet, and then they return to their post. There's no fighting this. It's just the reality. Okay, all right. Hey, yeah, I guess I
Okay,
didn't want to
we've come
overstep
pretty
my
far.
bounds on Pretty. Just a quick
no.
question. Pretty, was I correct in saying that like you were totally deflated because once upon a time you were a peanut salesman and now you're doing this nightmarish shit?
Now I am destroying childhoods. Yes.
Yes. Okay, just yeah. Okay,
It's
all right.
like it was just all of the little stressors and things he's missed and things he misses, because at this point I've been going with he's been away from his planet for almost exactly 20 years at this point since he enlisted. So it's like he misses his planet, he misses his dirt, he misses the shitty roads with garbage that he'd wander around with, boxes full of peanuts and pockets full of stolen phones, stolen data slates. Like, it was simpler times.
I'm sad. It's so sad. Garth, just because this is your job, I mean, this is the job you were expected to do, you gotta roll me a scrutinize check. I will give you a plus 20. You know these guys. You've worked with them. You've communicated with them psychically.
I'm glad we're finally putting the dark in grimdark.
Oh, yeah. Oh, me too, right? Like, oh god, I feel great about this.
All that.
There's been like gory stuff that's dark in that way, and like kind of horror stuff a little bit, and like mass murder.
Yeah.
But there's not been just war.
Yeah, just sad. Just bad, sad.
Man,
Alright.
war
Child soldiers,
war
so
never
tearing apart
changes. Wait,
families.
wrong
The
kill
army.
chance.
Okay, well, sorry. Garth asked for a reroll. What do people want?
I would say honest. Yeah, I'd say
Yeah,
good
I'm fine
again.
with this one. This one's not at a 25% chance of success.
Let's let him be good at his job.
Hey, there you go. Okay. Oh,
I asked specific questions and I got specific results.
yeah. Whereas Pretty is you've deflated Pretty in a way that like I don't know if Pretty was expecting it. It's that situation of like Pretty is normally pretty resilient to barbs and cuts, stuff like that, but apparently you cut him deep with this one. And
It
Ephraim,
is.
while trying to put on a strong face, you cut deep into him too. Like these two have been in some shit at this point.
That
I will
necessarily
add.
wasn't my intention, but yeah.
I will add further with the just to give you a little more off of that.
Yes.
So my order alignment is skepticism. My chaos alignment is mayhem. Currently, all of the things he's feeling fall into neither of those. He is
Oh,
just in
God.
such an absent hit of morality that it doesn't even fall on his scale of opinions he has.
Oh, that's uniquely. Ugh. Sorry.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn it. Killing me, Smalls.
All right.
Commander Osman will see you now. Or like, I'll pat Pretty on the back at least. No,
I'm glad. Otherwise, like he gives you a look like he's fucked up, but he's like, "Are you okay?"
Your Osman will see you now. God. Now that I've broken them down.
The moment Pretty says, "Are you okay?" Oh, Garth, you already rolled it. Okay, you're good. You're good. Okay, it's up to you how you wanna you're not suffering any psychic damage from this, but it has been a trying time for you.
He's at least a little uncomfortable on the outside.
Would I be able to make my own scrutinize?
Uh, that's the thing is like the weird part is that Garth's. I will say that Garth's success kind of does play into the fact that he has lost, and again, this is not character knowledge, but out of character knowledge, this is a he lost memory of his homeworld. So he doesn't fully have a grounding force to really see where these horrors are at this point. So like even trying to read him will be kind of tough right now. I'll be honest. It's like he succeeded and he's not doing great, but it's more of a confusion than anything else.
I can pick up on that like confusion and lostness that's different from what we're all feeling.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
It only took 20 sessions, but people are finally starting to bond on a personal level.
Yeah, just when I forgot everybody.
You forget fucking everybody.
It's
Blank
fucked up.
slate, Zumir, new man, new me.
Yep. Zumir's forgotten everyone. Arth's forgotten a bunch of people.
Oh, God.
Now that we are back on a clean slate, we're really getting to know each other.
There's a real chance. Okay, sorry. So yeah, Commander Osmond, we'll see you now. God damn it.
Sorry.
Oh, so
But also,
funny.
thank you.
Oh, that
And
was
it's
amazing.
okay.
Thank you guys. That was fantastic.
I almost wonder if it's also that we know our characters better now because they've all had enough development that we're better at picking these emotions for them because we have depth to go off of.
100%. I was like, the dice are one thing, but like you guys, yeah, the role playing has always been forefront with this everything. Oh, amazing. So good. Okay. Commander Osmond. God, can I remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty will step into the room or just kind of like try to step in first and swing the door open. Just stand at attention, fairly serious.
Ephraim, Garth.
Yeah, I mean, Ephraim will keep his straight face, but he's kind of just pissed about this all of this.
Everything that's happening. And Garth.
It's gonna stand next to Perth. I presume that's on the other side of the room.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay, with your new scrutinized check, she does guide you to standing in front of her. Essentially, the status of in between. There has been friction as you've had to switch over from her being kind of your guardian to her being your uh she's now above you socially, so she has had to keep reminding you of like your status is to stand second to her. She's a commissar, she stands next to the commander. You stand second to her.
Honestly, she's
The heat chagrin, 100%.
Yeah. Gritty would actually add a second salute to Perth and just kind of give her a nod and go, "Uniform looks good on you."
It's oh God, I'm like trying to find the words that she could say because it's that situation of like this kind of sad smile. It's like still looks kind of loose on you there. Still looks kind of loose on you, Lieutenant.
Yeah, he shrugs and picks at the sleeves a little bit.
uh, oh yeah, it's one of those things where like she she's been around you long enough to know like it's not this isn't what you asked for. This like that's the sort of like that's the sad smile aspect of that. Uh Commander Osmond's left with the situation of having to clasp both his hands and step and just press them hard into the table. And you guys can, there's no sound to it, but you can see the veins bulging in his hands as the cuff links are like, as the cuffs are tied up tight. It has been 3 months now of rigorous training amongst the newly formed regiment. And you've both proven to be able-bodied commanders of your various platoons. Unfortunately, I'm left with a nagging feeling and knowledge that I have become aware of the fact that you two are perhaps in the dark about. I will not have that moving forward. So I would like to say that before I was sent to trial and before I received my demotion to this planet, I was visited by two Reichbergs at the same time. In all of my service aboard the Sentinel of Reason, I have never once seen those two on the same level of the ship, let alone the same. So I've let their words echo for some time as I've observed to see if they were perhaps telling a lie or telling the truth. Is it, God, I have to pull up. Sergeant at Arms Reichberg mentioned that Lieutenant Brennan was a man of admirable quality and iron loyalty. And Wing Commander Reichberg revealed to me a reality I did not realize. Lieutenant Babernath, you may be a mere lieutenant amongst the Constantinium regiment, but it seems that you are an unknowing tendril to the web that is the Master of Whispers spy uh, spider's web, I guess. And he takes that moment to kind of soak in your guys' reactions.
Yeah, Pretty's just kind of confused when he starts getting into the spider's web.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, for the most part, it's like, yeah, it's like, definitely knows he's part of something bigger already, but is intrigued more than anything and concerned.
Similar reaction from Garth. He knew that they're connected to some sort of tendril of a crime thing, but he didn't know where like the source was. So like kind of similar reaction.
Nice. And Ephraim's?
Everyone's just kind of nodding in agreement with it all.
Okay. It is as I thought. Sergeant-at-Arms spoke highly of Ephraim, and Wing Commander Reichberg spoke highly of Pretty. For different reasons. One out of loyalty and one out of the reality that our once our once fellow commander, our once fellow officer, revealed himself to me as the spy master of the Sentinel of Reason. And it seems that you have a role to play between the Commodore and a known syndicate of this system. Or, sorry, of this subsector. It's of interest to me that both of these gentlemen stepped forward to make sure that you two survived the aftermath of what some could consider misdeeds and others could consider heroism. Sometimes there is no difference between the two. And his face is just his stone, like he's just straining with every word that he's saying at this point. What I need to know now is if you two can perform your duties loyally to me moving forward. Given the attachments you may have to higher ups within the Imperial Navy, as well as sideways attachments to underworld constituents. Just really chewing through that word. And planet side locals. Yeah. Excellent guile, by the way. I don't know what you're trying to hide, but I guess my question is,
Not reacting to him just actively calling out the mafia, which Pretty has been directly helped by multiple times. It's the thing of like, you lose your wallet and a mob boss finds it empty of cash with nothing in it, and one day he returns and sees your apartment empty and with nothing in it. So
What do you mean you know about all that?
the next day you come in and it's filled with furniture and there's food in the fridge and there's a man sitting there and he says, "Hello,
Hello,
you
yeah.
work for the mob now." And Pretty is just having to try and not make the face that you make when you remember you work for the mob.
Right. Okay, gotcha. I guess the question here lies, is there anything out of character that you guys are looking to understand? Like, has there been anything that I'm, like, confusing about how I'm stating it? Just because I could be very confusing in how I'm stating this.
Not entirely. I'm just kind of trying to think back through the progression from Reichberg to here, as far as like who my chain of command was.
Ah,
Because
gotcha.
other than Reichberg, I never really liked any of the other COs.
Nice. Okay, so we got, I'll give you I can read
So
off
it's
the specific things if you want. Just kind of like, I got excerpts attached to these characters on their bio, but I mean, you can read those yourself if you want.
give us the lore, man.
What is it? It's a simple one of like, what is it? You got Reichberg, the commander, the wing commander, the small man, who basically did the piloting, is a beloved hero amongst the local Voidborn crew of the Sentinel of Reason. He was born on the vessel, and through hard work and heroics, he proved a capable leader and pilot. He flies, and he has kind of been leading the assault craft on that vessel, which is
Yeah.
what it specializes in. Whereas his nephew, uh, uh, Sergeant at Arms Reichberg, is despised by the Voidsmen for his ruthlessness. So this is, and being that you were a trusted Voidsman, you were in that aspect of like you were having to deal with this guy who was enforcing the law on the ship.
Yeah.
It was of note that you both were there to witness that it seems that Ephraim had gained a bit of a reputation with the armsmen after showing up the stormtroopers on the assault boat run against the mysterious Xenos vessel. The sergeant at arms had been keeping a close eye on this up and comer, and so far Ephraim has passed his tests of loyalty. Over the underdeck intercom, Sergeant Arms delivered the message that the orders had been delivered for the PCs to be branded as grounded.
Yeah, we didn't like him. Okay.
Yeah, so it was like people had different respects for him on like different opinions on his announcement over the intercom on that part. Whereas Reichberg wasn't back to Wing Commander Reichberg. He wasn't too keen on having 3 squadron commanders grounded all at once. He offered to buy the offenders about 48 hours of time before the new commissar was brought on board the Sentinel of Reason in exchange for special permission slips to put together a team for their flight crews. Sorry,
and now we're
I
here.
guess the important bit is that he requested Rook and Zumir sign off on 2 blank change of order sheets so that he could lead their squadrons in the reclamation claim efforts. And that has also garnered differing opinions. So I'm like, all of this is one of those things where it is weird to have both of them converge in one room.
Yeah.
Regardless of your opinion on either one of them.
Yeah. And the fact that they're both saying these are good guys. I hate that they're gonna die.
I hate that they're gonna
Either
die.
way. Pretty would just kind of definitely think on that for a good minute and chew it over before, if no one else responds, just saying like, well, I do treasure my time under the Wing Commander and all other aspects of the Navy. The Navy is, in its very essence, not on the ground. And given that I can't jump very high, I might as well. So, yes, sir. And I'll give a salute.
Now, just so he doesn't have to roll scrutinize test, but he can if you want him to. The question being posed to you guys is more about a loyalty towards him versus both the local populace and the upper echelons of the Navy.
Yeah.
Yes. Pretty was intentionally answering, not answering there.
Okay, cool. All right. If it was like if those things were like Keegan, try reading to it. It was like I just want to make sure like if I'm rolling it, he has the chance of reading it absolutely wrong. I'm trying to
Yeah,
avoid that if
no.
there is if the message
Yeah,
is
no.
clear enough.
Pretty's message is very much, I'll do what you tell me because I have no other choice.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Ephraim's is my loyalty stands with the Imperium of Man.
Another solid non-answer.
Yeah, 100%. He has to not at that point unclasp his hands as Perth is left. She does seem to be left in the scenario where she's unclear what her role is as she clenches and unclenches her fist. Uh, Commander Osmond stands up, presses his hands down to the desk. Gentlemen, I want to be very clear. Regardless of what the courts have said here, and the demotion that followed, and the retribution, I did not call down that order. I need to know who I can trust. And 2 men came to me telling me I could trust you 2. No matter how we leave this office, we are all traveling down a very dangerous path. And it's that thing that pains him to do so, but he does break his general demeanor that he's held for 3 months. Like we're well into like we're another 2 months past the Space Hulk leaving the Atmo sort of deal, and he like breaks it as he looks at you 2 in a genuinely vulnerable state. Says, I am not your enemy. And you could tell it's vulnerable because he looks to you guys. The facade breaks for a moment, and his eyes do go over to Perth, and Perth matches his eyes and nods, and that's where Garth starts to realize, like, Garth, you've been distracted, but you do start to see that Perth has been like, it's that thing where it's like you're running into the kind of remembering from background noise sort of deal. Like Perth has been advocating for these ground forces for you guys for some time. And it's all starting to connect. Like these pieces are starting to connect on Garth's end. And Osmond, it's only a brief moment, and then he turns, and then his eyes lock back with you guys, between you 2. He's standing with, like, at the same height as, well, he's standing with you guys. He's got his hands clasping the desk. Uh, and it's in that moment that you guys are left with the situation of like there's an ally to be gained, but you don't know to what standing or to what help this man could be. That's what I'll give you without rolling.
Pretty will just kind of shrug, but get genuinely serious for a moment. Like his back straightens slightly and pops a couple of times in the process. And he just goes, "Well, sir, little Go out there, we'll fight for you. Probably die for you. We'll do our best to do right by you.
And Ephraim's?
I stood with the commissar as our own crew tried to kill us. I then followed up with our own officers declaring us to be grounded. I stand with the Imperium. I do not know where you, any of those above me, stand.
Let's see.
I know there are traitors in our midst.
Well, let's go ahead and roll that 1d100 to see what happens. He is unable to
Ooh.
hide the fact that he is in. I mean, he goes from like a dismayed but resolute nod with you, Pretty, where it's like he can respect that standing. That's a solid standing to have. It's like it's kind of like establishing a neutral stance as opposed to like we're not enemies, we're not friends, we're neutral. Like it's that sort of like yeah, it's that resigned nod.
It's resigned, but Pretty does genuinely respect him as a commander.
Yeah, so
It's
it is
just
one of those things where like the structure is still in place. Like it's not a yeah. He gets that part of it. It's a resigned sort of nod. um, but you both can see that he is genuinely shocked at everything that Ephraim just just dropped on his lap all at once. And Garth, in this moment, are you his gaze is going to latch to you before it drops to Overseer Perth, as she also has a bewildered look on her face.
Is he looking for confirmation or?
Yeah. Honestly, he's looking for any sort of guidance in what was just said, because like he just had an armsman of a vessel he used to command, like a former armsman of a vessel he used to command, claiming that the crew of his very vessel attacked and murdered a commissar. So it's just there's a lot being dumped on him right now.
He's like, wait a minute, the fuck? Wait!
The what? It's like him and Perth share a moment, and they're both alarmed, and he just kind of like looks to you. It's that same sort of hopeless moment where it's like you remember in your early forms of your psychic. I mean, like I'll give you this, like you do remember early moments of your psychic ability kind of coming into play, and people just kind of like, hey, what do you think this is going to be? It's that sort of like oh yeah what do the bones say or whatever, yeah what do you think the next dice roll is going to be, sort of deal. It's that just it's that blank question that comes out of people sometimes where they're like, what is the universe trying to tell me right now?
What is the universe trying to tell me right now?
he's like, these guys have been through a lot of shit, and the people they've been through it with say they're good. Wait a minute, they've been through what?
Yep.
He's like, oh, these poor, effective, traumatized people. Wait.
He has to
And
take
then-
them seriously because two officers stepped forward, of officers that do not get along, stepped forward and vouched for them. So he's having to take what their input is seriously for the first time this entire
And
campaign.
they are saying the most ludicrous shit.
So yeah, Garth, here you go, big boy Garth time. What do you got for him?
Let a sigh. Ground will be gained. Your ground, true blood. Progress will be made.
Sorry, could you say that one more time? I just want to make sure that I'm reacting properly.
So, ground will be gained, your ground through blood.
You can all see his jaw clench so tightly as he sits down very artificial. It's just this artificial sit down, and his lips break for just a moment. He says, "Dismissed." And that's it. That's all you can.
I don't know if I did a good job. I did.
Oh no, that was perfect.
Yeah.
That was
I look
perfect.
for
He
you
said
for
what
guidance. I'm
Pretty
gonna say
was
some
trying to
cryptic
say,
shit.
just without any of the veil of respect.
Yeah. Whatever his takeaway is from this meeting, it is deadly serious. That's what I
Kurt,
promise you.
can I do a scrutinize before we're shoved out of the tent?
Sure. Uh
I want to at least try and gauge his surface level thoughts here.
okay. I will give you a 0. You get nothing. You get no
Thank
benefits.
you.
I have 3 focuses in Scrutinize of Detect Lies, Cryptography, and Sense Social Class. I don't know if any of those would matter.
Cryptography, sense social class, or lies?
Detect Lies.
Okay. He is unfortunately not lying. There's no hidden message in that. And I mean, you can guess what his social class is if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to roll it for his social class, you can do that, but that's not going to help you with the.
Alright, yeah.
um, but if you want to add to the scrutinize, if you guys all want to add the scrutinize, by all means, anyone here can roll a scrutinize.
Oh, cool.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, we're running late now. We got all this narrative shit to do. Oh my god, you meant it.
Yeah.
All right, is pretty jumping on this scrutinized success train or what?
Nah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna pass.
Okay, all right.
I'll
So
pass.
you got it. Okay. So Garth, you were able to understand that what you have just said has set his any doubts this man had prior to this assignment has been alleviated. What his doubts were are unknown to you.
Is without doubt. That's good.
He is currently without a doubt. Ephraim, you've seen this sort of resolute nature in some of the uh this is more God, what would you this is more in line with he has the resolute nature of a leader of a township on your planet where his skills don't I know it's weird to have it be said this way, but it's like Garth knows absolutely that he is set in his ways. Ephraim just recognizes this look in town leadership, essentially what would normally be civilian leadership on his planet when they are
Okay.
faced with an opposing force. It's a little more abstract, but the realities of this planet do garner its own uh, insights, I guess, is what I should say.
Yes.
Yeah, Garth, you're not immediately shoot out of the place, but Pretty and Ephraim are expected to leave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Pretty will just pop a quick salute and head off.
Ephraim has no
And
intention to
as
stick around
he
longer
does,
than necessary.
yeah.
uh,
As
yep.
Pretty would try to step out with Ephraim specifically, and on the way out, just kind of mutter up to him, like as they step through the door. Good speech. They're standing on our fucking backs. That's where they are. You want to pop
There's
over to
some-
You want to pop over to the galley for a quick bite? I don't think I've eaten since Tuesday. What is it? Saturday?
Sure.
All right.
Just sure. Just checking. You trailed off. It felt like.
Yeah. That's...
Are you? Wait, hold on. Are you speaking? Sorry, you might not
No.
have been picked up. Oh, okay, sorry. Just wanted to make sure you picked it up. Okay.
Just sure I could eat.
Yeah. Cool. And he'll just kind of continue blabbering on as he does.
And it's very much that sort of. I mean, you two make quite the pair. I mean, Ephraim being this. I mean, outside of his limp from his leg, again, you guys have only hung out in very specific circumstances, and a fair bit
Hey,
of those
quick question.
circumstances prior
Quick
to
question.
this,
What
he
time of
was.
quick
Yeah.
question? What time of day is it?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let's say this is perfect. This is lunch break time. This took up a chunk of your
Oh,
guys' lunch break.
all right. I don't know if I'd need a roll for it, but Pretty is going to make a point of taking, if there's a major tunnel route, like a transport tunnel or something, taking that. If not, you would notice that he clicks his helmet into its full UV like space shade mode that's meant for taking like full radiation exposure as he
Oh.
stepped outside. Just, I've been getting headaches lately.
Oh, absolutely. If Pretty wants to take the lead on this, it's very easy to do so, given that the kind of tunnels you're looking for are easy to find, because this place is a makeshift fortress that has been built up from primary parts, like basically detachable sections of void
Yeah, like
ships, as well
modular.
as additional, like everything beyond that is kind of like just
Mhm.
more void ship parts. So it is very much like a void ship put onto a
Okay.
planet.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah. In that case, I would say you just notice he avoids the windows.
Yeah. Beautiful. Windows, what are those? Just,
Get him out of here.
uh,
And
Don't enjoy the scenery.
oh, it's fantastic.
not these days. I can see him training from out the west side.
It's while you guys are off. Oh God, on your jovial little jaunt. I love that you guys getting paired up
By
is
the way,
so funny so
yeah.
much of the time.
And also, at the risk of being more blunt with it, he's quite excited if they have blood sausage in stock.
Oh, fantastic. I would say that again, this planet is noted for its foliage as opposed to its uh, what's it?
Oh yeah, it's a
Wildlife.
rarity.
Yeah,
He has
wildlife.
to fight.
Not to say that it doesn't
Yeah,
have wildlife. It's just that its
yeah,
foliage is what is the draw. I
yeah.
keep saying it's the
I,
You
what
don't
focus.
think there's some blood sausage made off of whatever
I
Yeah,
was gonna say, like,
the warg
would I
is?
just be able to roll for that
the
to
warg,
ensure that I get it?
the man meat. The fucking
Oh God, that is
sorry.
horrific. Could I just
Yeah,
make like a
Yum, yum,
bargain to try and
yum.
acquire that?
you know, possibly. Oh God.
Actually, I mean, it could be a bargle. A bargle could be a
Bargle.
bargain. A bargain. Alternatively, as a retrospect thing, and only because it's funny, and because we just talked about cutting ties to him, can I make a retrospective gamble check to make it in a game playing with the chef's people?
Ooh. Yeah, if you want to gamble with the chef's people, by all means. There are absolutely
Just for gifts and shiggles. Yeah.
canteens. That's what it's called.
Yay! Oh fuck! By two.
Oh, reroll.
By
Give him a
You want to reroll
reroll.
two?
this? This is the one you want to reroll. By all means.
I would
Give him
appreciate
the
if it
reroll.
is like 1 a.m. here, so
Yeah,
I
no, it's like I
appreciate
know
that.
we're
Thank
running
you.
late.
I don't have any bonuses. The only thing I have is incredible numeration, Oh wait, no shit. That means if I just cheat, I can get a +10. Yeah, I'll do
Oh,
that.
hell
I'll
yeah.
cheat.
Yeah. Yeah. Cheat. You get
When
the
counting
If
or
things are going a little
cheating, get a
bad,
+10.
cheating.
Yeah. All right.
with the
Let's
cheating
go.
For man
ability,
flesh.
you are able to essentially do kind of like this that trick situation where it's like, okay, you give me this, then I give you this, da, 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 okay, yeah. And
Yeah, yeah,
so like the gambling is one thing, but it's more of like a distraction, if you will. So you guys
yeah.
are able to effectively make some sort of banh mi. Bread on this planet is not easy to come by. In
Oh,
fact, anything that requires real civilization is not easy to come by on this planet. Raw
wait,
ingredients, a
whoa,
plethora of, you know?
wait. A blood sausage banh mi?
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
almost work. Because like
Yeah,
it's
you know what I'm saying?
so heavy. It's so heavy, but everything else on the banh mi is so light. Like it's fresh vegetables and a light sauce,
Hmm.
but then with like this just like greasy, like spiced irony meat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And all they're
I'm
left with
genuinely.
in their hands is fucking peanuts.
They've got, like it's like a full jar of peanuts at this point.
Yeah. So like you cheated, but like you cheated in a way that's like, yeah, it's an equal amount of protein, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so while you guys are getting your banh mi's, I gotta just gotta double check with Overseer Perth as or she's not Overseer Commissar Perth. I gotta change her name at some point. She looks to Girth, and her and Osmond are looking to. Osmond is still stoic as hell as he's trying to kind of like take in everything. He's not pulling out of his documents. He's sitting there. He does kind of look up to you two as Perth says, "Okay, I wasn't there for everything that you all went through from the Xeno ship onward.
Yes.
Garth, are they telling the truth?" And she just asks you flat out.
The details might be a bit fuzzy, but yes. That is how he died.
Garth, do you have any reason to believe that the choir master of the Sentinel, and it is that moment, she shared a look with Osmond for a moment before she asked you this. It's like, do you have any reason to believe that the choir master of the Sentinel of Reason is coordinating efforts with the Commodore?
Uh, we're back to this.
Yeah, yeah. What is it? You did roll a scrutinize test earlier. Okay, so with your scrutinize test, you know that there is not. She does have a level of retribution in her, like in her demeanor for this. Like she, there is part of her that wants you to say yes, regardless of the reality. Because I mean, if you recall, which you can, that's not part of your
Yeah, all
curse.
all he's
Yeah,
thinking about is when
she got
he was
fucked up
basically
by.
stripped and mind probed.
Yeah, it was.
But
There's part of her that definitely wants to bring this man to a form of justice, if it's not the exact justice that she believes he deserves. That being said, it's up to you.
they are definitely close. Some things the Commodore knows does could not be explained without the help of my kind and his knowing.
Can you give specifics on what you mean? Korvac, listen, Babernath is literally living by the thread of some very flimsy paperwork, and Brennan's not much better off. We're just trying to coordinate some sort of real understanding. We're on the ground. They're going to send us to ground every single time. And unlike Osmond, she is genuinely adamant about that part. Like, she's genuinely adamant about uh, succeeding, or at least following through, even on a command that will lead to your deaths. Do you know what I'm saying? She is a commissar through and through. She just happens to want your input right now. Going based off of that 6 you rolled earlier. That's
Specific examples. My mind is a bit fuzzy. I'm going to be honest with you. However, the coin, like it or not, was an advantage to the Commodore.
a coin.
The coin placed on the commissar when he died. You remember?
She leans into you, and it is that moment of like, again, Garth, you gotta roll an awareness or a scrutinize, because it's really fun. Not an awareness. You have to roll scrutinize. It's really funny because it's been a consistent running joke at this point.
I can't tell shit.
You're really
Rita.
mad at this. Oh my god. For the first time ever, you catch on to the fact as she whispers in your ear, Garth, you've started putting animal furs on your back. You've thrown away everything you've gained. What in the hell are you talking about with a coin? She's really trying to cover for you in this moment, and it does require her to get to a very intimate distance with your ear. As you can see, Osmond is still a bit distracted as he's clenching his fingers onto his fist. He's got that full like their clasp, but he's having to he's really thinking, right? For the first time ever, you get that Overseer Perth might be on your side in a way. That's as much as I'm going to give you.
Me as a player, I'm trying to put it together.
That's extra funny.
There is a connection there. Just gotta string it together.
She kind of leans back. If you start talking about coins to the commander right now, with your backwaters choice of lifestyle in this moment, there's no way I could bring you back into this office. that's her giving you literally everything she could possibly give you.
If you bring your hillbilly shit in here one more time.
The hillbilly. My mind, Commander Osmond. I need to meditate before I can give you a succinct.
Did you say you mind something to Osmond?
What? No, I'm not saying that. I must meditate.
Okay.
Give you a succinct answer. To give you a succinct answer. I do not want to muddy the waters with vague certainties.
Osmond just kind of shakes out of his trance was. Yes, you are excused. Go on. And then goes back to, and then pulls out one of his data slates and begins to start working on something.
kind of goes out, waits for Perth for a second because he's that. Then he leaves.
Oh, so funny. Okay, I'm very, 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 very sorry. So
The
I guess
hillbilly shit.
it's so funny if you come in here, if you start talking about coins. I, so, okay, so I gotta time out real quick, out of character. Timelines, people. I can give you one more scene. That's the max I can give you at this point. Do you want it?
I am happy for AC.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed watching
yeah.
everyone do their thing.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
my own notes are so filled with things.
Okay, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like
I'm
none
fine
of
with
this is
watching a
going to
little
come
bit
up on my
more.
end of stuff, but it's still hilarious.
Yeah, it's important. It's important.
So next session, it'll just be you.
Again, this is Act Two's second act sort of deal. Like we're
Yeah.
really diving into a. There's a
Oh, we're
pivot.
ramping into it.
Okay, so I guess the thing that I got to tell Boom Mike that I wasn't able to tell you guys, there's been a lot of like background stuff that you guys have been changing a lot of the
Oh yeah.
dichotomy of this whole
Mhm.
campaign, but none of you who had status has been in the mix, so you don't know the specifics and have had no say over it outside of what
I
you've
will
been doing
need
as people.
director's commentary once this campaign is done.
Yeah.
I'll need to know.
Yep. Sorry, director's commentary. There you go. That's it. Anyways, let's go to
The
the
little
next.
names can shoot up even if they can't see the end of it.
Oh, the final scene. Okay, the final scene for this session to
Oh, we
lead into
should
the
honor.
next stuff. Okay, everybody's back. Roldvik's back. Zumir's back. Okay. Zumir, you're left with the situation of your commanding officers. We are truly alone as loyalists to the Imperium here in this subsector.
What else is new?
We must maintain the course to defend the sector from outsiders. And while these possible defectors could break away, they are, in strict point of fact, abiding by the Imperial law, Imperial code, and reinforcing the sector for further invasions.
Mm,
We must be vigilant, and we must make sure that the impurities of this endeavor are removed, so that only that of the Emperor's design remain. Are you prepared? As he
yes, sir.
he pops him a fist as the neophytes. You're left with about a dozen others. Yes, sir. Join you. Over to Roldvik. Roldvik, you I guess go ahead and roll me a scrutinize, or sorry, an eavesdrop. This would be an eavesdrop test. I'll give you a plus. Ah, fuck, nothing. I'll give you a plus nothing. You're still an aristocrat.
Yeah, so I don't get a penalty because I know how to tilt my head the right way.
Yeah. You know
All
how to
right.
just kind of have your ears open. I'm giving you the best possible option.
Yeah. How's the council feel about a 40?
Go for
Go for it.
Roll,
Okay.
roll.
Roll.
it. Possibly the last roll of the session.
This is possible.
Hey, I'll take
Let's
it.
go!
Okay. You're getting the impression that the crew, as you've done your rounds, as far as the bookkeeping is concerned, it's not quite the general crew, but it's the staff that runs the general crew
Mhm.
are frustrated along lines of like, yeah, we're really trying to hold them back, but at the end of the day, we're not messenger. It's like we're not a messenger ship. We're not a. We're not a. And granted, this is those things where it's like you've been able to. Your facelessness does grant you a bit of levity amongst the general
I'm able to actually talk shit.
Yeah, in conjunction with the fact that you never remember any of their names. Like that's become noticed.
Yeah, that's like we could say shit and he can't report us.
He could never name any single one of us. So it's just kind of that general lower deck staffing situation where they're like, we're really trying to hold them in place, but at the end of the day, we're not messengers, we're not delivery, so we're not a delivery ship. We're a pirate ship. I mean, quartermaster. We were accustomed to a certain level of shares that uh, salaries do not provide. Now, the part that's despicable about this is that money isn't exactly what they're talking about. There's a variety of different things you gain from raiding that
Oh yeah, no,
just
it's
is
not
not
just
monetary.
yeah, no, there's loot,
Loot,
there's
torture,
pretty
the
torture,
whole
there's bodies, let's face it.
yeah,
That's what they're alluding to a
just
lot of
two
it.
yeah. So there's this, and they know what they're doing. They know how to hold the line, toe the status
Yeah,
quo, but they are holding themselves back actively, and that's kind of the status you're
that's not a
getting.
good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
Roldvik would definitely
boiling
take note
water.
of that. And I think maybe like the third time he hears a whisper of it, or when they finally say it point blank like that,
Mhm.
there is a moment where he like the arms cross and he kind of like he's actually like presenting himself big, but then he leans in and just that deep guttural, "Oh, I know."
In that moment, I'll give you a plus 20 charm.
Okay.
Just a quick little, really feeding into the masses. Let's see how that plays out for you. You know what I'm
Oh yeah, because it's leaning in his ferocity as well.
saying?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. All right. The lower decks, they're gonna know about you. Please make note of that in case that comes into play.
Oh yeah.
I said, knowing it'll come into play.
hmm
Okay. All right. Final scene. Okay, you guys come back. Zumir, you're part of the forward crew that's having to deal with the keeping an eye on this populace. Oh God, you got Roldvik coming back, unloading stuff, and it's 6 months in. I mean, we're talking solid 6 months in. Stuff's been going on. You guys been doing work, uh, and it is up to Commander Osmond to try and pull together this regiment that has been training and training and training as he's preparing to excuse sorry, oh God. We are going to mount a full scale war upon every single outsider. And he really, because of the insights he was gained, he really emphasizes specific parts of the speech that was clearly pre-rendered. That's what I'm going to give those officers that are there. Uh, Zumir and Roldvik, you guys may roll a scrutinize test. Roldvik, you get a +0. Zumir, you get a -20. One of you has context. The other one has lost all context. The realities of the little man
Damn!
doesn't matter anymore.
Damn!
Ah!
Yeah, Roldvik. I imagine Roldvik's just like making notes of the speech, and
Yeah.
he's like, "All right, cool," just jotting down basics, going, "All right, whatever." He's already thinking that he's gonna let House Romu know that for the most part, he fucking has the ship already in his
It's ready to go, yeah.
Yep.
So Commander Osmond is reaching out to this crew, and so Ephraim and Pretty, you two are privy to the fact that he is emphasizing outsider when he says this. We will be fighting off every outsider that has every intention of taking this planet by military force, and we are going to force them. And he's essentially doing this kind of almost. And Ephraim, you do have the. I guess my question is, pretty. Do you also have some sort of any sort of benefits to cryptography? Because Ephraim is catching what he's laying down. Unless they are passed out at this point, which is understandable. We're well past our time.
No, I'm just muted.
There they
I'm
are.
in
Okay.
small.
Double
Yeah,
check.
no, I was muted and it took me a second to unlock my phone. Pretty's got nothing.
Okay. If you'd like to roll a scrutinized test, you may do so. You get a plus 20. You have context for this speech. You were there. You had a meeting.
I have
Do I have to
context
roll,
because
or is this just
I
a
know the
success
person
for
talking.
cryptography?
Ephraim gets an automatic success because he has a fucking talent for this shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he was there.
I'm not gonna because it requires getting up and going back towards my computer. And I'm not gonna do that right now.
I can click it for you if you'd like.
Oh yeah, if you'd be obliged, then yes.
Not a problem. I'm so sorry that we're running so late.
It's genuinely no problem.
Okay,
Oh.
alright, cool.
Yeah, I don't have any talents. I just have a focus in cryptography.
Oh, okay, yeah. Focus and photography will do it for me. Scrutinize.
With a focus in reading lips, so I know exactly what he's
Yo!
saying.
Okay,
Crit
great.
success.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
just-
go.
Okay, alright.
Using that
Copying
GM
Pretty's
look right
notes.
now.
howdy. You guys are really catching on to the fact that, like, the two platoon leaders here, these two lieutenants, are really catching on to the fact that he is emphasizing certain words, and he is catching on. Like, the general populace of this regiment are responding to the fact that he is talking about people outside of this planet are a threat to it, and he is going to lead them into retaining their independence as well as their adamancy towards the Imperium as a greater whole. It's a sort of dichotomy, and he does kind of lose. I mean, it's noticeable specifically to Pretty because he has some sort of outside perspective with that crit success that some of the local populace within this regiment do not respond well to that part about retaining uh, loyalty to
Imperial
the
ties.
yes. Whereas the rest of it are very fervent
Yeah.
about it. So it's this planet has not been cohesive in a very long time.
Yeah. And it's all probably going to go to shit within a few years after.
The follow-up is that someone steps forth, and he does so without introduction. Because goddamn, why would he? And that is Hector, the Iconoclast.
Oh god damn it!
Oh, crazy
Son
man
of a
hack! I thought he
This
bled to
mother-
death.
See?
Y'all should have slit his fucking throat when we had the chance. Damn it!
I should have. I knew I should have.
God.
Hector, the Iconoclast, shows up and all but shoves Osmond out of the way from the whatever it's called, the
Bias.
yeah, I mean, you know, the
Hector.
loud hailer, that's what it's called. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the name for this goddamn thing?
Just
he
fall with a
steps forward.
speaker in the front of it.
And he just kind of leaves out to ladies and gentlemen, peoples of Constantinium. Your commander, Osmond, is a brave man, and he just kind of like gestures to him. He doesn't look to him, he just kind of gestures haphazardly, and Osmond is clearly bewildered by this, just getting pushed off. In this pivotal moment, as you step forth into the greater Imperium, I would ask of you to Send forth your greatest champions amongst the regiments that have proven themselves here. For I have within my grasp the ability to elevate you from zealots to iconoclast. In our efforts on Constantinium, we have unlocked the secrets necessary to do so. I but ask for those who would be my brothers in arms to step forward.
Cue the sound of a dozen data slates looking up what iconoclast means.
Yeah. In this moment, I gotta ask, do any of you guys do anything prior to what I have next in store?
So Rook, not Roldvik for this part. There is that moment where he hears it. He's like that small child in the brain going, "Oh man, being a fucking space marine," and then he realized, "Wait, I'd be an iconoclast. Fuck that shit." He is very happy at the moment he wasn't closer.
Mhm.
Because there was a split moment in his mind of shooting fucking Hector when he shoved Osman. He doesn't though. He probably no weapon in hand, doesn't even have his club. He's not about to bum rush the guy that everyone fucking loves on this planet.
Beautiful.
Suicide.
All right, we got Roldvik. That's fantastic. Okay, Zumir, Garth, pretty, Brennan.
Yeah. I don't know how close Ephraim is to the stage for this.
In this instance, officers would be closer, but like there's still security in place against the just general horde of people. So like this is not an easy to get to. You can.
Yeah.
It's just it would take effort.
No, yeah. Ephraim would just kind of mutter under his breath oh, I thought you could do it all on your own.
Yes.
Because I have no frame of reference.
Be spiteful.
Zumir, education roll.
I have.
I'll give you some level of frame of reference. If you can make this education roll, I will give you a +10. It's in your realm of knowledge. If you have no rank in it, it is a flip to fail. I just need you to know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna fail, but might as well.
We don't know. I just said
Give
it's
it
a
a
flip to fail.
shot.
Come on.
You got this. You got this. Yeah, awesome.
Where the hell is it again?
Intelligence-based skill.
Intelligence.
Again, +10. It's a flip to fail.
Oh, there it is. Hard to see.
All good.
I like
all good.
that you still don't have
be
education,
damned.
so it's like, what, classes? No, we need more time for flagellation.
No. Yeah. The flip to fail really screws you on this one. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on! It's an 18 out of 51.
But it's
Flip to
flipped
fail's
to
81 out of 51, though.
Yeah. That's what a
Fucked
skilled. Anybody else? Does anybody else want in on this nonsense? Or
I
Ephraim,
want
Blutter?
to know
I'm
more
willing to
specific.
attempt it.
Or
I mean,
Sorry,
roll
go
the
ahead.
I don't
vision.
understand.
It's got a
flip to fail.
response.
was there a modifier?
It depends on who we're talking to. Zumir got a +10 because of his specific training. He suffered a lot of
Mm.
problems, but he did gain a bonus to iconoclast specific concepts.
Right. So for Ephraim,
Ephraim, I will give you. I guess Ephraim does also get a +10 because he's a local. He has some lore to work with, but it's very specific to Ephraim. So Zumir's got the general aspect. Ephraim's got the specific. Jesus fucking
Yo.
Christ.
Alright, before you go revealing anything, can Roldvik roll?
What do you want? What are you looking for in this situation? I was just trying to give context to
Yeah.
Zumir, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But-
Nah, I think I hit the
I
nail
have
on
no
the head.
frame.
I think
I
Roldvik's
also
happy. Never mind.
I have a question as well.
Uh-huh.
My order rank is impunity, so I would also.
Your
What's
auto
this about?
what? Your
My
what?
order rank impunity,
Oh,
piety,
impiety. Oh,
piety.
okay. Yes, I will give you a +10. It is still a flip to fail if you don't have a rank in it, but goddamn, if you don't know what an iconoclast is.
Well, he knows what it is, but he's wondering what
This guy's deal is
Brotherhood.
absolutely.
I want to know. I want to know what's happening.
All right, go for it. Holy hell, you succeeded. Okay, all right. Pretty. I guess you're the last one
Oh,
on the docket. Any deal with you?
I
Pretty,
don't get flip to fail. Damn it.
yeah, pretty like see it kind of intentional. Like, well, he gets just grumpy initially, casts like a very directed glare over at his troops at a distance somewhere, and then pulls out his data slate and scribbles down power armor weak points.
Oh, I mean, if you want to do, I would,
I don't want there to be any like mechanical thing about it. It's
yeah.
just his take on it is I really need to dissuade all of my stupid kids from going, I could be a space marine.
I guess honestly, because your kids are smart enough, I would take tradecraft, warfare. Warfare would get a +10, or leadership. Warfare is the only one that gets a +10. The other two are straight up.
Go ahead and do that as a tradecraft, because that's kind of he's very much the shop teacher of
Fantastic.
the child soldier world.
Oh,
But it's mostly just I mean, he does not talk about space marines because, that's how you get agents on your ass.
Right. Yeah.
But he
Absolutely.
talks about like other forms of powered armor, and you look for like hydraulic lines and gap points and joints and stuff like that.
Okay, it's you failed by 10, but there's no crit fail, so
Oh,
it's
well,
just that.
cool.
Okay, so we've got the hell. Did I click trigger? Oh, my bad. All right.
As
Either
usual,
way,
the children learn nothing.
they learned nothing. The flip side is that holy hell,
so
scrutinize. Okay, so we got a scrutinized test of a. Oh god. Okay, so 55 match and then a Garth. Okay, Garth.
Yeah.
You can sense that Hector is desperate. He's making a desperate attempt. You're not really sure what, because he's calling forth champions of humankind. So it's very specific. And weirdly enough, it comes down to fucking Ephraim. Your shaking and just kind of muttering to yourself does remind you of the fact, like, he uh Hector had specifically mentioned a desire. Yeah, it's the weird part. It's like there's this memory and education bit where it's like he had mentioned a desire. Uh, it's this forlorn nature about his brothers, and everything he was doing was in service to his brothers. And now he's calling forth champions amongst Constantinium to step forth about uh to and you're kind of adding the points there. It's like you're adding bits that he's trying to revive his brothers via your populace.
Yep.
What's your takeaway, bro? I'm here, but I got pee.
so that's what
I'm
he's
here.
doing.
I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, my frame's kind of been disillusioned to the whole thing, watching Space Marines keep jumping in on their own and getting in over their heads and stuff.
So far, space marines have fucked you over just about as much as everybody else.
Yeah. So it's one of those things, if he pitches it to his people, it will be like, anyone wants to join the legends and be disappointed, there's that option.
Giving off the same vibe as Navy SEAL recruiters.
But back to his, core belief prior to him knowing about their existence is, we don't need that. We can do this on our own.
Yeah. Preach, brother.
So,
I think he's still the
I think he's
Kind of in
peeing
the
some.
bathroom, so
yeah.
Sorry, that
Just
took a long time.
no worries.
So, yeah, what I'm getting from what you're saying, you're in the sense of, given that you're fatalism, I guess I gotta ask what your order rank is.
Sophistication.
Is sophistication? Okay.
Yes.
All right. What I'm gonna allow you to do is you can take an automatic chaos rank in this session for an assist die in this leadership rank.
Sure. Let's do
Okay.
it. Let's give me that disorder for this.
Yeah.
It's a disorder. You know what? I'll
Yep.
give you a +10 on top of it. Why not? It's a disorder. Here you go. Hot damn, he did it.
I forget the die, the assist die.
Yeah.
Hot damn, he still did it. Okay. So, Ephraim, you are able to keep the adults in rank as they are shocked by what is coming down the line from them. Like, you're able to send that message far enough down and enough people are passing it on that they're thrown off. The Pretty's children, it's a little bit more difficult as they seem to be pushing forward. Those poor
Don't call them Pretty's children.
No,
Don't call them that.
I like that. It's
They're
funny as
constant.
fuck.
They're Constantinium's orphans. They're the
Yeah. However,
what's your
our
Orphans, as we
our
pull their
cartoon name-
parents away from their.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to call them. Pretty accurate. I mean, you're trying to show them the weak points, and all they can see from the back is that you pulled up the schematics for an Astartes armor, and they're just like, oh god, they're trying
Well,
to
no,
first they
I
start.
did not pull up Astartes arbor, but I
Oh, sorry.
did pull up jumpsuits and void suits, and I don't. There is powered armor, but I don't
That's
remember
fair.
what it's called.
That's fair.
But
They're
yeah,
still trying to get a
I
better
pulled up-
look, and it just kind of keeps adding
Yeah.
to the push forward. So the children are pushing forward, the adults are standing still, and oh my god, if that's not heartbreaking as we go.
yeah.
Oh god. Okay. All right. I'm trying to. Okay, we're okay. God. Okay, 13 minutes before it's an hour past the normal end time. Okay. Let's see here. So, amongst all the chaos that is happening and not happening, you hear one clear voice ring out over a loud hailer, and honestly, sorry, not honestly, but also psychically. I mean, you guys could try to resist it to try and stop it from pushing in, but there is an amplification to this voice that is both mechanical and psychic.
Okay.
I'll hear
We roll
that
to
shit.
try and resist it.
All right, try resist it. This is a -30 to anyone trying to resist. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Okay, -30, and it's what, resolve or toughness?
Oh, you know what? You can. I'm gonna say you can resist it. I don't know what I'm saying. You can resist this automatically. If you're an unwilling target, not a problem.
Okay.
It's more of the suddenness. It's like if the suddenness of a psychic voice coming into your play that's not actively trying to do anything to you outside of deliver a message is denied, you can deny it. Easy. Done.
Yeah, if
I'll
there's-
let that in. I'll let that in.
I think Rook himself is too used to Garth and them, or House Romu,
Ephraim has just been steadily getting more and more paranoid as time goes on.
Yeah.
Valid.
Da. Oh man. Okay. So, Garth, you're the only one. Was it? I guess Ephraim's the only one who's resisting it outright.
Seems like it.
Okay.
think so.
All right. So the rest of you guys can hear this as it echoes from Loudhailer in the distance to directly in your mind as the Commodore.
Oh, now I'm angry.
yeah.
Instant rage.
As the Commodore steps forward, as he's walking from the back line. So he's walking from where the common like linemen are. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like,
motherfucker.
yeah. And next to him, of course, I mean, not of
It was a
course,
big
but
deal. It's a long walk for him.
standing, yeah, no, it's one of those things where standing next to him is
Oh,
Firemaster
shit.
Greyforth. As they push forward, and he says, "Yes, any who desire to serve the Imperium, please line up and sign on with the Iconoclast. Any who feel a loyalty to this planet they call Constantinium, line up and stand with the Iconoclast. But before you do, I want you to know something. I've traveled this universe. I've from star to star to star for many years. You can see the hairs on my head are the amount of stars I've seen and far beyond." As he continues to walk
Let me
down.
pull up this
This is a
picture.
bald
Motherfucker's
man, right?
bald.
This is a bald man, yeah. Show the players. Just
God. Roldwick is fucking fuming right now.
This
Oh.
man is an agent of a constellation foreign to us, so far from ours that they desire to see ours sink to the betterment of theirs. And Hector is just left there when he just throws the loud hail. He just the thing that Osmond was speaking into, he just fucking tosses it into the crowd. He's so fucking pissed. You can see him. Like, it doesn't matter what your distance is. The veins on his fucking face are practically pushing the helmet off of his fucking skull at this point.
God. We're trapped between two assholes. Shit.
Oh, God, I have to ask. I have to remember it. A specific. Okay. Sorry.
Why are we listening to these two?
For a very specific reason, I'll figure it out. Just 1 second. History.
Oh, I love to hate these bastards.
You should. I would love for you to hate all of these bastards. That's the goal. You still have to pick somebody to be your friend, but like, goddamn.
I don't know any of these people. I don't give a shit.
Who the fuck's
So
that
much
guy?
better.
Who in the hell is that son of a bitch?
Oh,
God
God.
damn it.
Oh shit. And we probably don't know that it's Zamir that's standing there either if he's wearing his helmet and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, but you would probably see my axe.
None of us have seen your new axe.
Oh,
I'm having the hardest time finding it, but God damn it.
it's great that Zumir gets to have a whole new fucking awful first impression.
Right? Oh, God.
But I will
Yes, on the
speak
right
out.
track again.
I do want to speak out and ask why we're listening to you people.
Is Ephraim able to try and push through the crowd to find where that loudhailer was thrown?
Yeah, God damn it, give me 1 second. I just have to find this stupid thing that's really slowing me down. Okay, sorry. God damn it. Okay, secondary thing. Okay. Sorry. Okay, timeout. Really quick. Where was that? Okay, Hector threw the thing.
Yep.
Commodore Skald said something.
Yep.
Sign up with him if you want. But this man is an outsider. And that's where you guys can interject if you want to try and interject. But again, you're having to go up against the big leagues of this thing. So this is a minus 30 leadership to anyone who wants to jump in, unless you have a Loudhailer, in which case it's a minus 20.
I'd like to athletics to the Loudhailer, if possible. That was thrown into somewhere.
How many ranks in athletics do you have?
Currently 1.
Currently 1.
I also have a focus in wrestle.
I'll if you don't have a rank in leadership, I'll let you make that minus 20 leadership with athletics in play. That's me being generous. You're in the midst of the shit.
Okay.
And I mean, again, youths are starting to storm the stage. You got people coming around. Anyone else got anything?
I do want it.
If you got a leadership, by
I'm
all
on the
means.
side. I'm just watching.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't think it came through properly, and that Pretty's like showing them stuff was not immediate action. That's just in the future. He added it to his plan.
Ah, I gotcha.
Yeah, he
Holy
wouldn't
hell.
have really. He would have just hoped that his kids were smart enough to not storm the stage and be like, "I want to join."
Yeah, they're not. They're not. I mean,
Yeah, sorry if I didn't make
this
that
is
clear.
no, you're good. It's like I get you. This is one of their. This is the guy that their statue is of on this planet.
Yeah, yeah.
Again,
This is Superman saying, "Come be a superhero."
yeah, Angel. I mean, granted, it's one of the off-brand Supermans. It's probably evil. Angel, I gotta ask. Do you have a Loudhailer?
No,
Okay, it is at a
not
minus 30,
obviously.
so it's a crit fail, not a crit success. I'm really sorry, but I'm just letting you know.
Can I? Anybody want to give me a reroll?
Out
I
of-
I mean, we're
I
at the
don't
end
know
of the
how many we
session.
even
Why
have
not?
left.
we are at the
I
end of
never
the session.
used any.
We've used at least 3, so there should be at the very least 1 to 2, maybe. Maybe
I'm
3.
indifferent. You can use it if you want.
Yeah, I'd say
Go
if
for
there's
it.
2, go ahead and use it. I feel like it'd be good to end with 1. That tends to give a bonus sometimes.
Hot damn! There he is.
Yes.
Okay, what is it that you shout over this? What's the deal there?
Why are we listening to these people?
Now Rook knows that's Zamir.
Okay, Zumir. When you say, why are we listening to those people? It actually carries over a sizable enough of this population that the follow-up. So, if you have an affirmation to add to this, go ahead.
If you want to fight, fight. Don't follow one man, one space marine that's alone without his brothers, and don't follow an old decrepit psyker that's yelling at you. Fight because you want to fight.
Okay, what's your fellowship bonus?
My fellowship is 3.
Okay.
Bonus 3. Bonus of 3.
Goddamn. All right. Ephraim, buddy,
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to make a resolve test at a +0.
Okay.
You might be one of those 3. Is all I'm saying.
Yep.
Hot damn.
Oh.
I mean, I was trying to use the Loudhailer so I could shout that Commandant is a fucking moon man.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
should kill him while we have the chance.
Yeah, you
Fight!
honestly, you heard enough. Like, honestly, I don't know if, like, I don't know which phrase triggered you, but you're in it. Like, if you're already going for a thing to start some shit, it's happening. You and yours are doing your thing. 100%. No reroll. That's happening. Didn't even have to roll a fortune point. A 100 was rolled. Okay. Oh my god.
I smell a coup brewing.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm cool with
This
this.
guy made the mistake of coming down to anywhere near me with troops.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
He would know you're there too. That's the thing.
We are fully ready to go.
See, last
Sorry.
time I was just
That's not
snuck
pretty.
into a room with him and all of his guards and a grenade somewhere on my person.
Yeah.
The tables have turned.
Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, as this whole thing starts to shift, uh, and literally the two people attacking each other seem to be now on opposite ends of a violent crowd. Everyone who steps forward towards him begins to stop in place as Greyforth, again, Choirmaster Greyforth, stands there, hands outstretched, eyes closed, as the air around him crackles. It's not going to last long, but it is long enough to say, for Commodore to say, this Astartes is an agent of a foreign power named Ultramar, the second jewel of the Imperium, sent here to undo us and our majesty centuries ago. If you have any doubts, you ask him what his proper chapter's name was. You tell them what your proper chapter's name was. As he's backing off into his ship and he's lifting off. And honestly, most of
Me?
this message is drowned out.
Yeah,
Is he saying that to
Wolvik.
me?
Oh, he's saying it to Hector.
He's screaming
Yeah.
at Hector. It's Hector that he's
Oh.
screaming at. But it doesn't matter.
Okay, I
He's
was about to
driven
say, I'm not
off
the fucking
planet
Wolfmar.
via the revolution. So okay, so session 21, quelling or just going all in on this revolution. We'll find out. We're gonna
Oh crap!
He's fucking
We'll
Ultra
find out.
Breeds!
So
He's fucking Ultra Breeds! Get him out of here!
We'll find- Next time.
what did I do though? I
what-
You
stopped
set
him?
off a chain reaction saying, "Why are you listening to these people? You should fight because you want to fight." And these people want to fight anyone who's not from the
That
planet,
song is like
which is
Warrior One
everyone
Fight
but
the
you
Power.
right now.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed this, Zamir, but I had Pretty and Ephraim have to face the fact that they are dealing with families that they have forcibly separated from their children. So Ephraim, being a commander over a noticeable platoon of parents that have been separated from their children, critically failed with a 100 against your leadership that you re-rolled, to the point where he is now leading a full-on revolution planet-side.
Okay, so I kind of fucked up hardcore, didn't I?
I'm
Not
gonna be honest. I
necessarily.
think you did a great success. This is exactly what Ephraim wanted to have happen
Yeah.
prior to you talking.
When you say you fucked up, I think people will need to know clarification moving forward, but at the end of the day, you did what a lot of PCs wanted to have happen. This is
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
getting.
Rolvik's just
I
keeping
just-
his mouth shut due to politics.
I just didn't. I have no frame of reference, so I just think, why are these people talking instead of actually doing a good job and actually saying, "Hey, come join me"?
Yeah. It's
They're just
funny how easy
blowharded.
it
This
is
is stupid.
to full-on revolution against someone. It's much harder to, establish an actual form of government. So one is easier to start. The other one is this is going to be difficult. This is
Yeah.
Act 2, Part 2 is now Constantinium. Is it really? I guess that's really what it's called now. There's no
roll the-
ambiguity.
Huh.
We literally interrupted the only argument against Constantinium being the name of this planet, and that's amazing, in my opinion. That's you guys have been really adamant about it. Okay, it's called Constantinium. I'm done trying to argue for anything other than that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
God.
didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted these people to shut up.
Right,
Don't
they
trust
did.
old people.
Now it's only
Get 'em
violence.
outta here.
No more words, only action.
Only action. You said to the entire room of soldiers.
So very, very angry, righteously angry soldiers.
Rolvik's definitely a little concerned right now
Hopefully
about.
they like me.
Yeah.
They previously had really old orders, have now been abducted, given retrained, new equipment, new orders.
Yeah, so we're gonna. Well, next session's gonna be weird. I don't know what that's gonna look like. It's gonna take me some time to prep. I got 2 weeks,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
You did it to me again. Good job, everyone.
Yay.
I'm so glad.
And I did it with
Act
the
2,
13,
part-
my
Act
favorite
3
number.
Act 3 of Act 2.
Oh,
Yeah. Well-
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for sticking around extra long. I hope you have a good night.
Yeah. See you
Hope you had
guys next
fun.
week. I'll be here full session.
Absolutely.
All right, hell yeah. Good God.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Good, everybody.
Oh God, I probably should. Okay, I'm gonna put it in this chat just so it's what is it, 150 EXP. You guys did a
Oh,
full
thank you.
session. You guys did a full session's worth.
Yeah, we were like, we're not going to do a full session at 10 o'clock, and then we
Yeah,
did
that
a full
was-
session.
Well, boy, did we.
And
Yeah,
we're
it
drillers
was
and
like-
killers.
It was just pure role play because
100%.
we didn't think we had the time for anything else,
Yeah,
and then it just kept going. It was perfect.
Start favorite XP.
Oh.
Session 20.
Are people
Mini
doing the
and quotes.
corruption roll or no?
You
I
know
assume
what?
I'm
I
not.
think you're the
chaos
only one
rank,
getting
but-
stuff.
I'm sorry,
think
but
I will.
everybody gains corruption this session. If you auto gain corruption, good job. But you all gain everyone gains corruption this session.
no.
I'm gonna roll under it. I fucking know it.
Nope, doesn't matter.
Oh, it's just a guaranteed chaos rank.
Yep.
No.
Am I getting a second one? I don't know if the leadership thing was a separate deal.
I'm gonna
Uh,
get 2 disorders before I get 1 faint point. I
I'm
got.
sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, if you I know that I handed out 1 automatic chaos rank. Right?
Yeah, to
Yes.
me.
I'm sorry. Yes, you gain 2 chaos ranks this session.
Perfect.
Sorry. Here you go. Yep.
Ah,
Okay,
I'm
so I got a
s-
disorder and
I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in Zumir's thing, just because. Yep.
yeah. All right,
Sorry,
yeah.
but essentially, everyone played into the most rebellious, most full throttle aspect of their characters at this point. There's just no way around it. You guys are.
Yeah.
This is
yeah.
full rebellion at this point. It might be righteous, but it is full rebellion.
we just ended the discussion part that was already tenuous.
Yeah, it was very tenuous.
Oh, I'm gonna have to find my way to a fucking ship.
On the upside, I didn't have to do a bunch of exposition between 2 NPCs, which is something I hate as a GM and as a player.
I think it came very
So,
naturally. It
I'm
came very
I'm
naturally.
very much I'm thankful for you guys. Can we interrupt them? Absolutely. Fuck these guys. They suck.
God, Kai, I gotta say this.
Yeah.
I still need 1 more order rank, and I get like 4th fate point. You rat bastard.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah.
Oh, the big
Blue
privilege.
balling me over here
You
for fate
privileged
points.
motherfucker.
Yeah. I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad I didn't gain any corruption there and didn't have to roll for it because I was reading up on the vampire stuff more specifically, and it's not like I'm fine until it triggers, but it triggers if I hit 10 corruption in a session. So if I have a bad session and a bad roll at the end of the night,
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah, we have not explored the vampire subplot yet.
or sorry,
man.
just a bad session.
Yeah,
I
no.
need to stay so far away from corruption, so I'm going to be playing a lot more into the skepticism because it's like if it's hilarious, it's basically just a mechanical reason for me to set the tone and not be a goofy little boy all the time.
It's fantastic. That's awesome. I am so much more down for the vampire subplot knowing that going in. I
Yeah.
think that's fantastic.
So it's basically just that I get to play with little themes of him being a little bit, gothy, hides from the sun,
He
interested
puts
in blood
mascara on.
and black. I don't know about the
That's for
mascara.
Doc
But yeah,
Martens.
it's after suffering 10 or more corruption in a game session, specifically from stress, fear, or terror. So that's something. Those afflicted with this disorder cannot recover from a peril by any means and move one step down the peril condition negatively for every hour they go until they choose to drink 3 pints of blood. After drinking blood, the afflicted immediately adjust their peril condition track to unhindered, suffers 6 corruption, and temporarily gains the following abilities and penalties. They cannot cross water unless by bridge or boat. They do not cast a reflection, can see perfectly after dark. When I cause an injury or make someone bleed, I move 1 step up in the damage track positively. Or sorry, when the affliction cause,
Oh, yeah.
they move 1 step up. I'm not sure if that buffs my damage or I get damaged from it. The fun one though is when exposed to sunlight, the afflicted suffers 2d10 plus 2 damage from fire for every minute they remain.
That's
Amazing.
fucking cooked.
Additionally, because that's just the bullet points, it can be staved off by feeding me holy water, which requires a resolve test. Otherwise, it dissipates in 24 hours. The big kicker, immediately after I witness someone be grievously wounded, suffer an injury, or begin to bleed, I must make a resolve test or else attack that person until they are slain.
This sounds like you're
Right.
giving me an excuse to old Yeller pretty.
Well, hot damn. Sounds like
My
this
only hope
planet
is that it
just got a
happens in
whole
the
lot more
depths of
chaosy.
combat. Yeah, my only hope is that it happens in the depths of combat when no one really notices.
Oh,
I'm pretty just